What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and today I'm going to teach you how to make an absolutely insane armor super cheap. Um, so yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm all about the crafts that everyone with a little bit of effort should be able to afford, and this is one that everyone should be able to afford. The total cost of this probably about 5 exalts should get you an armor like the one that I'm gonna make. Um, how you're gonna be like when you see this, you're gonna be like, how is it possible? I'm gonna tell you how. So to make the exact one that I want, you're gonna have to first get yourself one of these nifty bases. They're cheap. The reason why they're cheap is because once someone makes one of these, we're like 4 weeks into the league. Once someone makes one of these, they just duplicate them and then resell them. So this is pretty much what I am always going to recommend people go for. It's worth it. I mean, you don't have to color or link. And they make a little bit of profit, but um, yeah. Anyways, so 1 exalt for your base. You should look up the base that you want. I chose the Assassin's Guard base because I like the implicit 3% movement speed. The other nice thing is they already have it all qualityed up for you. So like once you get a little ways into the league, these are the types of bases you should start off by buying, because if you're going to craft something really nice, why not have a really nice base for an exalt? That makes a lot of sense to me. That's what I do. If you're worried about people, like if you're going to make multiple characters or something like that, you could start duplicating them yourself, but normally they're not really marking up very much. And if they took the time to make the base, I'll give them the 10 or 20C. um, so the specific one that I'm going to be making is a single influence, because we're sticking to something that's going to be really cheap, and super powerful and really easy to replicate. So there's two things that I want in this, and this chest actually works for a caster or for an attack character. So what we're going for is we're going to go for really high HP. It's not going to work for an energy shield character. So if you're looking for an energy shield character chest guide, this isn't the one for you. But any HP build, this is going to be a really strong chest. Okay, so we get it like this, and the only thing we have to do at this point is we have to add our selected influence. We're selecting, let me bring this up. We are selecting the Hunter influence base. Bring this back up. Okay, so we're selecting the Hunter influence base, and the reason why is because with just the Hunter influence base, we can create a chest that's going to be super sweet. Why is that? Because there's a bunch of good stuff on here. We got percent increased max life, which is going to be really good for us because we're life-based character. We've got the apply additional curse, and then our critical strike chance, either for a caster build or for an attack build. I'm making an attack build. If you're making a caster build, you would just do the caster craft, not the attack craft. The reason why, honestly, I feel like this slot doesn't even have to be a dual mod slot unless you're looking for something like the percent explode. But like, for instance, on my character, I'm running a percent crit, percent I'm running a percent explodes, percent crit, dodge chance, dexterity, and I have to finish the HP on it. The thing is in a lot of builds, like the number percent explodes, which I have videos on how to guaranteed get that every single time really cheaply also. So if you want one of those, I've already done videos in the past, and that crafting method is the exact same. So if you want a number percent explode chest and you want to use this crafting method to make it even better, you can do that. But the reason why I kind of don't want to do that with this one is because I want the +1 to curse for this specific build, because it's stronger for me than the number percent explodes. And what I really want is I want a lot of HP out of my build. So I want a really high tier 1 HP. I want the tier 1% life. And then I want my +1 to curse, which I can't have. I'd have to choose between +1 to curse or 3% life explode. The thing is my build already has like crazy damage. The percent explode honestly is probably doing like nothing because the base AoE of my skill, like you're comparing, it just isn't that great for my build. Um, which in a lot of builds, a +1 to curse and having a ton of HP could be better. So anyways, I want to have two really high life mods. I want to have my +1 curse, and I want to have a high crit chance. And this might sound like something really hard to get, but it's actually super, super easy. And cheap at this point in the league. So you have one right here, which is going to be the one that we're going to wind up finishing. The way that I got it to this point was really, really simple. And I didn't record it. The reason why I'm going to show you the different pieces to get yourself to this point is because I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually hit this. It is going to guaranteed be cheap to do because you're talking about these chaotic resonators are like, I got 200 of them for 73 chaos. And these pristine fossils are 1C a piece. So you can spam a lot, a lot, a lot. The only thing that you are caring about getting is the high max life, number to number max life, and the percentage increase max life. Which to get these two things together, like I have on this, if you have other mods and you can't just re-roll it and you don't have more chance to get those mods, it can take you forever. You could literally wind up never getting it. And with how much harder harvest is to craft with now, like back in the day, you know, you'd basically like get your influence mods on there and then you just re-roll the HP endlessly. And I made a perfect six tier 1 stat double influence chest in Harvest League, but even in Harvest League it took me forever to hit just the tier 1 life doing a double influence. So huge, huge pain in the ass, something that a lot of players might start and probably never finish. However, doing it this way, it's going to be really, really easy. We're only going to need 2 harvest crafts. You might need some others to clean up your base, but what we're going to do is we're just going to take and spam single socket resonators on our base. From this point when you buy it, you could buy it already with the influence on it, but based on the prices for the influence orbs right now, you're better off to just take and buy the plain base and add your influence to it. If you don't know how to do that, we'll go ahead and look at the prices so I can show you what I'm saying. It's 1 EX for the base that I have. Then you would get a Hunter's Exalted Orb for 1.5 EX. That puts us up to 2.5, which this is most of our costs. The only other cost that we're going to have associated with this is going to be fossil spamming. It took me like under 40 fossils to hit double tier 1 HP and number to number. It might take you more, it might take you less, but the simple fact is you get 100, or you get, well, 1.5, you get a lot of tries. You get a lot of tries for an Exalt, like a ton of spamming. You could settle, like if you get tier 1% life and tier 2 and you're like, I'm going to stop here because tier 1's really rare. You could do that if you're like me and you're like, I've got a bunch of currency. I'm just going to keep rolling till I hit it because once I get it to that point, I know I can finish it and make it, you know, exactly what I want. So anyways, yep, but you have to determine how much it is you want to invest. Like, if you want it to be perfect, you might wind up spending more. Anyways, 1.5 EX for this, plus 1 EX for the base. That gets us to the Hunter 6-link, 30% quality craft. The cheapest Hunter 6-link like that is 3.5 EX, so it wouldn't make sense to be like, just go out and buy it with the influence already on there. Because first of all, there's not very many of them, so one person's going to buy it. They're going to be like, I don't care, I'm just going to buy it. And then they're going to be more expensive after that. So probably just buy it, and the Hunter's Exalted Orb, you just click it onto it. So if I wanted to take, you've bought your orb. If you want to take this to that, all you have to do, get it to rare, and then you would just take, like if we pretended, I'm not going to actually do this, I would just take and click this and then click on here, and it would add the influence to it. It can't have another influence for you to add an influence like that. And for this craft, we don't want another influence on it. Otherwise, we're going to not be able to, or possibly not be able to, guaranteed craft this, which this is supposed to be a super strong chest, super cheap, super easy to make. So we're going to stick to that. So I now have my hunter influence on here. I'm going to then just take these one socket resonators that are filled with pristine fossils, and then I'm just going to spam it until I have the combination of number life and percent life together. The only other thing that matters is in our prefix, we can't have something that we cannot take off. If we have something that we cannot take off, there's one way that we can guaranteed remove it, and that's if we wipe the bottom and then we do remove non-life, add life. This would give you a chance that wouldn't risk losing those two things, because it could take that non-life and move it down to the bottom, because we have lots of mods that are regeneration. This is kind of like one of those bad case scenarios. So that would be one way you could remove something that doesn't have a tag. If it has a tag, like if it's physical tag or anything with a tag that you can use in Harvest, then you can just guarantee to remove it, and then you'll be ready to do it. If your bottom is full of stuff that you can't remove, that you don't like, you use Reforge. What you would do is you would add the last stat that you want to the prefix, or you would take and craft on a blocker. A blocker stat basically is just basically a placeholder, so you have 3 full prefixes, because every item, I don't know how many newer players are going to watch this, every item can only have 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes. So inside of Harvest, they have Reforge and keep prefixes, or reforge and keep suffixes. If your bottom is just completely messed up and it's full of stuff that you can't remove, or you don't want to do 3 removals, then get the reforges. The reforges are a lot more common than the removals, so that's probably going to be your faster bet, and you could use that to try and get other good stuff before you finish the item. So once you have it to a place, like say I got some mod I didn't want it and I removed it, now I have it in a position where, I can go ahead with the item. The other two things that we wanted, which that's why I kind of got it ready for this video. The other two things that we want a percent crit chance for me for attack, whatever it is that you want, and then we also want our chance for curse. So the awesome thing about this being a single influence base, two things, both awesome. Let me bring up the right tab. Okay, so we want, for me, on this one, I want the number percent critical strike chance. It's attack and critical. Well, critical would give me a chance for it, but I might wind up getting the spell, so attack might be the way that we want to go. The only other things would be these things. So there's no attack stat on there, which means if I have an open suffix, I use an attack slam, I'm going to guarantee get that, because there's no other attack mods up here. Now let's look at caster. Caster, you can apply an additional curse. It has the caster and curse tag. So we need to remember that, because if I was making a caster item, I could just caster slam it twice, because there's no other caster mod on here. You can see no other caster mod on here. So that means there's only two things that I can get with a caster augment. You can apply an additional curse, or I can get number percent spell critical chance. If you wanted the spell critical chance, all you would have to do is just augment caster twice. The only sticky situation on this situation is if you wind up augmenting your curse first, then you augment your spell crit chance, base crit, this one right here. If this doesn't, it can come out as a tier 1 or a tier 2. If it doesn't come out as a tier 1, now you're in a situation where you have to do remove caster, add caster. You don't really want to do this, because then you only have a 50% chance of re-rolling it. So there's only a 50% chance that you're not going to just re-roll your curse back into a curse, which just does nothing. So what you want to do is, if I was in if I was in this state right now and I wanted to make this a caster chest, what I would do is I would take and craft any random thing on with my bench to block the curse. Then I would take and augment the caster. If I got the tier 1, I would just remove my craft, the whatever it is, the placeholder on the prefix, and then I just augment again, and that would give me my curse, and I'm done. If I augment the number percent chance to crit for spells, then I need to leave that blocking mod on there, and then I need to re-roll caster for caster till I have the tier 1. If you want it to be double tier 1, like everything tier 1, if you want that to be tier 1, that's the way that I would recommend doing it. It could save you an absolute nightmare of, you re-roll caster for caster, and it just keeps on selecting the curse, and you literally just see no change every single time you do it. So that is the one thing that I want to say about that, because I know some people may want to use this method for a caster. For the attack one, it's a lot more simple. You do have to pay attention to this and do it in the right order, because like I said, if I were to slam caster first, I could either get number percent chance to critical strike, which then means I have to remove it, or I could wind up hitting this and just be lucky. We don't want to take that chance, so what we're going to do is we're going to add our critical strike chance first. There's no other attack on here, so we can just do that without even blocking. So we're going to go ahead and finish this chest. Augment item with a new attack modifier. Alright, yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. Making sure it's the right one. It was putting my chest in front. Okay, so I'm going to augment the attack. This is going to give me number percent to critical strike chance. I hope it's tier 1 because I don't want to have to re-roll it. Yeah, tier 1. Okay, so, I mean, it's 50-50 chance. Now I'm guaranteed to finish it. I'll augment with caster. I don't know if I have a non-lucky. I guess it doesn't. Oh, yeah, I got a non-lucky. Might as well save the lucky one. Although the lucky ones have been pretty unlucky for me. So the only thing that I can get now is +1 to curse. So I augment caster, and I have +1 to my curses. You can apply additional curse. I now have an insane chest that was extremely easy to make. My crafting cost for this was 1 EX plus 1.5 for the 1 EX for the 1 XL for the base, 1.5 for the orb. That gives me 2.5. I used less than 40 of these, so even calling those 2C a piece, I mean, like, we'll call it like 3.1 or something like that, and then 2, I mean, or we could even call it 3.5. We can call that a whole EX. 3.5 EX. I just made this chest with two augments and 3.5 EX. That's a super dope chest. It's legit a crazy chest. I could have taken and re-rolled some stuff on the bottom. I could have done Reforge to try and make my bottom like pretty sexy. But I'm cool with the dodge chance and the regen, because I'm gonna be losing some regen in some other places. And I kind of just wanted to make one for the video. I might make a more. I might be a little bit more. I might go for a 6-time tier 1 at some point. But for the sake of the video, I wanted to make some content. It's been a few days. If you guys like this content and you're not already, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it with some people. And that's pretty much it. Catch you guys next time. Peace.